Chairman sir, namaskar.
Namaskar. Let's start, Gaurav.
Good afternoon to all the dignitaries, senior members, Central Council members joining this virtual meet today on the emerging topic of tapping opportunities in accounting outsourcing globally, organized by the Committee for Development of International Trade Services and WTO of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Friends, I, CA Gaurav Agarwal from Amritsar, the city of Golden Temple, feel privileged for being the moderator of this CPE meeting. We have with us the galaxy of CA members along with our Central Council member, Shri Dheeraj Khandelwal ji, who is the chairman of the Committee for Development of International Trade and Services. Central Council member, Shri Rohit Robatia Agarwal ji, vice chairman of the committee. Our guest speakers of the session, CA Arpit Bhargav ji, CA Anjani Ladia ji, and CA Dhaval Pawan ji. Moving forward, I would request our Central Council member, CA Rohit Agarwal ji, to give who is the vice chairman of this committee, to give his welcome address. Rohit sir, please.
Thank you, Gaurav ji. Very good afternoon to all of you in the VCM on the very important topic, tapping opportunities in accounting outsourcing globally. On behalf of the Committee for the Development of International Trade, Services and WTO, it is my privilege to welcome our keynote speakers, CA Arpit Bhargav ji, CA Dhaval Paul ji, CA Anjani Ladia ji, at today's session along with the CA Dheeraj Khandelwal ji, the chairman of the committee, and CA Gaurav Agarwal ji as a session moderator. As we all know, in the recent past, outsourcing has brought in a lot of business opportunities in India. From developed and developing countries, India is perhaps the biggest beneficiary of the outsourcing boom, and over the year has created a niche for itself in outsourcing along with accounting and finance services. A large majority of the foreign companies prefer to choose India when it comes to the outsourcing due to the presence multi-talented pool of afforded resources, timeliness and reliability. Here we are very important for. With increased demand, foreign accounting firms and corporate are looking for accounting outsourcing to India that offer a wider range of pool access to the talent, hassle-free deliveries to the client, faster turnaround time. It is a need of an hour for our member to upgrade their skill to serve the clients globally and open up new market avenues in their professional practice. Today, India's accounting outsourcing in the global market matches clients' requirement not only in the terms of price, but also in terms of skilled professionals, enhanced productivity, service quality, and business process excellence. In some cases, more strategic processes such as management accounting, budgeting, and forecasting, the financial analysis are being also outsourced. I hope today's virtual meeting would be helpful to all the participants, wherein our experts who are practically outsourcing their services in the area are here to guide us and support our members at large. Thank you all for joining us while inviting our chairman to carry forward the meeting, sir.
Thank you, Rohit sir. Thank you for your welcome address. Going ahead, now I request our worthy Central Council member and chairman of the Committee for Development of International Trade Services and WTO, Shri Dheeraj Khandelwal ji, to give his opening remarks and enlighten us on the topic. Dheeraj sir.
Thank you, each and everyone. I welcome all the delegates over here, participants, and my all faculties, speakers. So it's a great program, which I can say it's a great opportunities for the chartered accountant in the outsourcing. And in last 2 years, which we have seen it to the COVID times, we currently doing the all outsourcing activities while sitting at home, and when we are working in the domestically, why not outside India? So concept has changed now, which we are doing at as of now also. Like in the COVID times, we used to be sit in the homes and working for the client digitally online. So now the most of the things being equipped from practicing level to handle their work on digital work and on remote basis, so we can work remotely Now there's no difference at all in the digital era, whether it's outsourcing global or India. The only work is, what we are working in India, we are interacting with them and we are just working for them. Now, in the professional opportunity, which I'm talking about, globally, means you have to acquire the client. The services will not be a problem with you because the infrastructure you have already created. Now, our three all panelists will discuss and talk on the various opportunities. People always, I have seen that, people have seen, what type of work which we can do it. Mostly people aligned with the accounts and finance work. They are thought that, accounting outsourcing can be done, and there are different softwares are there. And people talk about, direct tax, tax return filing. They forgot there's an ample of opportunities in the management consultancy. Each and every area is can be outsourced. And when we talk about the outsourcing in the medical terms, or where we outsourcing in the each another area of the spectrum, and we can see it in our accounting, finance, and management consultancy side. Everything, every bit of working can be outsourced, because reason being that the developed countries have the skilled set of a requirement which need to be filled out, and which is not there, and which can be filled by the Indian chartered accountant with the technical sound. And the rate comparability, the rate what they charge in their local currencies and what we charge in India is a bit different, which we becomes a compatible for the outsourcing requirements. And this is the two main important aspects that are there. And we feel our chartered accountants are globally more equipped, because more than 30,000 chartered accountants are settled and residing in outside India, and they are providing their services as a chartered accountant. And why not our more than 3 lakh chartered accountant can provide such services of the account outsourcing services or various other services. And that is the need of the hour, to understand by each and everyone, we can provide these services where you are a capable person. In each area which you are working, you can provide your services to the world, not only in India, you can to the rest of the world. Only you need to equip yourself with the digital infrastructures. You need to develop your communication skills. You need to harness your local laws requirement. And the fourth point is networking, which is more important. And I'm very happy to share all of you the Rohit Rovatia ji, who's a vice chairman, as well as the, I can say it's a shoulder to chairman to me. He suggested, why not we can came out a online portal to provide a networking, because we had a number of webinars and seminars, and from last 2 years when this committee is in existence as a WTO and as a development of trade and services. But people are feeling, how we get the work. The only question comes each and everyone, okay, we can render these services, but I don't have any connection. And when we tell, social media is there to, serve you a better way and to connect with the LinkedIn, people is still, hesitating because they didn't find the time. Networking is important and get the work is important. Now we are on the preparation, and I can say it within a 3 to 6 months time, we will have a online platform to each and everyone, or those are willing to provide their global services to the world. And I can say that the ICI is banking on your expertise, and you can showcase your capabilities to the world. And we will definitely going to be ready with that 3 months time. And let's hope for the best. And we are organizing all such kind of seminars. This is today we're going to deliver the various opportunities, then highlighting on the accounting and finance field. Then Luxembourg also, we have the Anjani Ladia, he's the chapter chairman over there. So 3 eminent personalities are here. They will brief you the entire details of the outsourcing model, and let's have a free to ask any questions. I'm saying that whatever mind whatever the things in your mind, just let's put it down on the paper and post it to the ICI, and we have the Gaurav who's going to take the lead to solve all your queries with the all three eminent personalities. So friends, you have the 2,000 numbers over there or two who registered for this today program. I'm happy. I wanted to see that more than 200 or 500 people should take the benefit actually by coming out providing the services. That means that our purpose is going to solve. We wanted to see more and more people should emerge and take the benefit of the networking guidelines which we came out last year networking with the lead firm. Prepare lead firm concepts and provide the services, invest the time, and take the things. There's huge opportunities out there. India's government is also planning to raise this accounting or auditing services from India to $500 billion. So as of now, what we are contributing is $100 billion to the service sector. So $400 billion next 10 years. So means that the more and more opportunity going to be from the European country, EU, UK, and Australia. So take the benefit. I think that's way I want to communicate to you. Three all speakers are there to solve your queries. With this, wishing you a best learning experience and hoping that you will come out with soon with your practice model on the global opportunity, global services. With this, thank you very much and appreciate the Rohit what he has worked into this online model and will serve the purpose to all people. With this, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dheeraj sir. Thank you very much. We are very grateful to you for your words of wisdom and also enlightening us the Institute's ideology on the development of international trade and services. Now, moving forward, I have been assigned the duty as a moderator to address our audience for 2 minutes. For that matter, friends, I want to share with you, I am also a CPA from USA. I have been a co-opted member in the Committee for International Trade and Services for the year 2022-23. And the most important prerequisite to get into this international market, as per my opinion, for all the members, I want to share it with you. I did my CA in 2000, but I did my CPA from US in 2017. I have a very good numbers in practice over these 17 years, but getting into the global market, I believe one should have a proper extra qualification or proper extra knowledge of the territory where you want to work. One of the best ways to stay ahead of your competitors is to acquire an extra qualification. So I went for the US CPA because until and unless we have the knowledge of the business environment of a country, the taxation structure of that country, or the customer behavior of a particular region, we would not be able to operate. I don't mean that you should go for CPA. CA is itself a sufficient course to get into this accounting outsourcing globally, but you must gather knowledge regarding the particular region where you want to operate. Friends, this is my earnest request to all of you that you must work on your credentials, you must work on your knowledge, you must enhance your competitiveness, and that can be done through only knowledge only. So not taking much of time of my guest speakers of the day, I would like to go ahead and introduce to all of you C. Arpit Bhargavji, who is the first speaker of this session. Mr. Arpit Bhargav is a partner with SBA Strategy Consulting LLP India, which specializes in international trade law matters. Arpit is a chartered accountant, CPA, and also holds a double master's in international trade law from NLSIU Bangalore and IELPO Barcelona. Arpit has vast experience in successfully defending anti-dumping and anti-subsidy cases initiated against exports from India, Brazil, Turkey, Mexico, and other Asian countries. He leads the international trade remedy practice at the SBA Group. Arpit has also worked with PricewaterhouseCoopers and Ernst & Young in the fields of auditing and compliance. He is also certified in SAS programming language, which is widely used by the US Department of Commerce for calculation of anti-dumping duty margins. With these, I request C. Arpit Bhargavji to enlighten with his session. And Arpitji, please proceed, sir.
Thank you, Gauravji, for the humbling words. I first of all thank CA Rohit Ruvatia-ji, also our chairman Deepak-ji, for allowing us this opportunity. It's a great opportunity. Without taking much time, I'm going to share my screen and start the presentation. I would like this session to be more of a knowledge sharing rather than just more technical. It's more practical for everybody, I hope. And at any point, if you feel that I'm going too fast or too slow, please intimate on the chat box, and I would request the moderator to tell me that I should either go slow or faster, whichever way works. So welcome everybody. I am taking a specific, very focused session on strategizing global consulting opportunities. I hope everyone can see the screen. Silence is considered acceptance. Thank you. The topic today that has been given to us is a little bit difficult because we are being asked to give an overview of the global consulting opportunities. And of course, this is without ignoring the fact that the ICI as a professional network has given us so much power, so much opportunity to harness all the consulting fields that are available across the world for us. I rightly mentioned in the welcome remarks that during COVID, everybody's sitting at home, in our office, in our home location, and we're able to cater to all the clients across the world. So taking that into consideration, let's first look at the macro view of services that are exported from India. So if we see the total outlay of service exports from India, for the year 2022, the total exports from export of services from India are at $240 billion, which is around 18 lakh crore rupees. Now, of course, Indian businesses are the leading exporters of services to the Western world and, of course, other countries in the past few years. The target of this export of services for 2023 is USD 325 billion. Now, that is a big jump in 1 year. How do we plan to do that? Of course, the largest contributor to this service export till date has been the information technology enabled services, or the ITES. And the tentative share of accounting and legal services is limited to less than 5%. So that only means one thing. It means that the scope for us to increase our service exports is huge. Because if you remember, in the earlier years, when the IT services were just starting up, their share was very, very small. Now that their share has increased, their maturity in this industry has increased. And only the infant share of services has the largest part to expand. Therefore, I believe this is the right time and the right opportunity for all of us to look into exporting of services across the world and make sure that this 4% grows to another 4%, which gives everybody a great flow of revenue. Now, moving on to the next slide. Among these accounting and legal services, let's have a look at the major destinations of these services. Major importers of services from India, that is our major customers, have always been North American countries due to the scarcity of qualified professionals on site, and that too at a reasonable fee. So if you see, US and Canada comprise 56% of the total exports. Europe is another 30%, out of which UK is 14%. And I believe Luxembourg is also a big part of this, which Anjaney sir will take up later. Asia also is at 6%, and the rest of the world is at less than 1%. Australia and New Zealand at around 3%. So with this mix, what we have to really understand is the major advantage that we have over other countries to serve North American clients and European clients. The most advantageous thing for us is the time zone difference. It is definitely something which we have to capitalize. without ignoring the fact that our professional qualifications and our professional learnings are second to none. Our profession, the CA profession, has given us enough capability to understand different laws, to see that we are able to understand a custom law or a taxation law of any country or a corporate law of any country. Therefore, I believe that the differentiating factor for us is definitely going to be our skill. And the second thing is the time zone that we are. Because when we are here in India working, the US teams are sleeping. And when they wake up, they get all the information. And that is the best combination where you get a 24-hour delivery. From a client perspective, I think that is one of the best things that can happen. And this is something we've been doing consistently for some of our North American partners. Moving on to the next slide, which is breaking down the reasons or the real reasons for the opportunities for Indian professionals. The first one is there is a robust demand from those markets, the European market, the South American market, the North American market, for talent and the resource pool. Please don't forget that we are the largest pool of CPAs, chartered accountants, lawyers, and also tax consultants in the world. Only second to China, perhaps China is catching up, but India is now the preferred destination. The amount of service that we can offer to the entire North American market is huge. Our education in English and our fluency in English is going to be one of the top reasons why our resource pool is going to be the most preferred. The second aspect that one must consider is the competitive advantage. Of course, the cost advantage comes without saying, as Deepak sir rightly mentioned at the beginning of this program, our charge out rates are definitely lower than what the Western countries would do and the professionals in those countries would do. And the second one, as I emphasize, is the time zone that we are in. We're in a time zone that helps everybody enhance their efficiency. We can work more hours using the same resources and using our existing infrastructure. The third aspect for the opportunity to be considered is the increased investments. Now, when we say investments as professionals, we always think of investments coming in. Well, I must also complement this by saying that the opportunity also lies in overseas direct investment by Indian firms in outside companies to acquire businesses, to acquire practices, or to partner with other professionals and gain a presence in other foreign territories. The fourth aspect of the opportunity is the policy support from the government. So government is enacting a number of policy initiatives, a lot of incentives. The SEIS was one of them. I believe something new is going to come up in the new foreign trade policy. We're just going to have to wait and watch. The export promotion negotiations are something which have never been at such a level. Just recently, the FTAs that have been signed with different countries, the CEPA with the UAE and Australia, the cornerstone of that agreement is that export of services must be promoted. It must be allowed in the UAE and Australia from India. And gentlemen, that is the opportunity. My colleagues, the government wants us to move ahead into these territories and provide such services which nobody has seen there. The capability, the quality of delivery that Indian chartered accountants have consistently provided to their clients is something that these FTAs have been formed on. Also, looking at the demand, the government is also looking at the post-COVID demand, where there is a shortage of professionals at various developed countries. That has resulted in creating a robust demand for professional services from India. Also, there is a very key area which needs to be tapped, which is the SME segment in the developed countries, in Europe, in US, also in South America, where the SMEs are looking for high quality service, but at reasonable prices. They cannot afford the big companies, the big law firms, the big tax consultants who charge them hundreds of dollars through the hour. That's not what they want. They need a more practical, a more accessible approach, which only we can provide. And we have been successful in delivering that as professionals. And there are a number of examples coming from our industry itself. Also, one policy support that we believe will be required is the SME Service Export Promotion Forum, which would allow only smaller companies to access the markets in Western countries. I believe right now there is a Service Export Promotion Council, but that is a bigger initiative of the IT companies. And we need something which can help the SMEs, the smaller companies, to access the markets and perhaps promote our services, which can also help enhancing our capabilities to provide legal services or auditing services in foreign jurisdictions. Apart from this, if I were to give a broader view of the services that can be offered, I would say this is just an illustrative list. There are way more services, a lot of management consultancy services, which may not be covered under this, but this is a starting point, perhaps for my discussion. The first one is legal advisory services. Of course, multinational companies need contracts to be implemented in different jurisdictions. The understanding of the law and the contract between private parties is something that there is a huge vacuum on, and that is something that we can capitalize for sure. The second one is business valuations. I believe that the most efficient and also cost-effective valuation in merger and acquisition can come from India for all foreign investors as well as foreign investees, because the Indian consultants' understanding of an industry is far more deep than anybody else across the world, simply because we have more companies operating in such conditions in India. So this is something that not only business valuations are not only something that we can tap in India, it is also something we can do for companies in Europe, UK, even North America, South America, because valuation principles are the same across the world. Then comes corporate services, which generally mean incorporation and compliance services for companies in India, in foreign jurisdictions, and vice versa, where foreign companies want to create their subsidiaries in India. So both of them are lucrative fields. They require a great understanding of the direct tax, the indirect tax, and the corporate law, or the existing, I should say, the business law in that country. But that is something that we can gather once we have a good understanding of the market we want to penetrate. Rightly said by our moderator, Gaurav ji, that we must have the understanding of the market that we are getting into, whether it is by qualification or whether it is by reading. Qualification is not the only way. You can read through, like I have done. I have read the US law multiple number of times to understand what really happens, what is the practicality of the law. So it all depends on how what the service or what the requirement of our client is, and how we can gather information and knowledge to help them do it. The next one, the next service that I believe is the IT enabled accounting, on which Dhaval ji is going to take a more detailed session, where we would be able to cater to not only SMEs but also big companies that require books, that require accounting and bookkeeping, and also audit services to a limited extent. The last one that I would like to discuss is the international trade law advisory, which is something our firm has been doing for quite a bit. I have done that for the past 10 years. And we believe that with the increased exports and imports, all the businesses will require advisory services with respect to custom procedures, with respect to compliances and other rules of origin, which will attract higher taxes or lower taxes as the trade increases. Another example of that is the anti-dumping duty, the safeguard duties that are being imposed under the WTO law. So that is something our profession has to get into, to deliver more and more globalized understanding of laws when international trade is occurring for our clients. Now coming to how is it that we believe we can strategize these business opportunities. So I would say this is a three-tier model that I have come up with. And I believe the first one is definitely partnering. The partnerships with professional firms is something that can help us get into a specific market, understand what the client requirements are, and then help deliver it together with the partner. which will help us gain very valuable experience, as well as build our pedigree and our rapport with the client in terms of client delivery. The second one is foreign direct investment, where we partner with a foreign complementing business. They invest in our own capabilities, and then we partner together and cater clients across India and all other countries. The third one, which is something new for our profession, but overseas direct investment by acquiring competing businesses is also something that we can do, where a small group of professionals can acquire a competing business to extend their reach in a different jurisdiction. For example, in Europe, it can happen. It can happen in Canada. It can happen in USA, where there are professionals who are at the height of their professional age, and they might want to retire, and we might want to acquire their business and feed our presence in that market. So overseas direct investment is also a good opportunity, a strategic thing that we should be looking out for if we have to obtain presence in a foreign market. Now coming to one of the last items on my agenda, just sharing some experience on what I have done and what our firm has done in bidding for export services. So in legal advisory, we've always helped clients get through some litigation in a different country where they don't understand the law, and they're relying on us to understand the law, identify a partner. It's not important that I represent them. It is important that I know who's representing them, and we trust their capability, we test their capability, and we advise the client that, okay, this is the right way to go. We should do this. That is also a part of the legal advisory that we are following. The second one is the international trade law. This is specific to the WTO agreement, where an anti-dumping duty or anti-subsidy duty or a safeguard duty is initiated by one of the countries on exports from India. And we help the client in defending those duties. Often that results in us working with foreign law firms, recommending foreign law firms, recommending foreign accounting firms to get the job done, to represent the client. And this is where we forge partnerships, and we go on to the model of partnering with big firms to get more business, not just the one we are working with them on, but also other business where they see our capability and they get us business. That is something which has worked for us very well. Then the compliance services, where our clients want to enter into a particular market, they want to open subsidiary companies. We've helped them, given them a single bouquet of services, and ask them to just enter the market without worrying about the compliance, and we take care of everything, and they just have to go start selling their product or start selling the service. That's their core business. And comes accounting services, complementing to the compliance service, the incorporation service. Also, the accounting service is linked, where you're able to tell the company, okay, you focus on your business, we will do your accounting, we will do your tax, and we'll do all the compliances. Then the last one is the on-site services, which is more difficult to deliver, which is more difficult to actually get into. But still, if the client needs help on the field, if they need accounting help on the field, if they're implementing a new system and they tell you, please come and help us set up our accounting module for SAP or Oracle or any other software, that is an on-site service that we can continue to provide our clients, even though we are just working on them in the Indian jurisdiction. It is also possible that we get them an opportunity where our team can provide services for a limited number of time and then come back to India. For example, an internal audit is something which our team can go perform and then come back. And the client really has not got big budget for it, and they can still handle it from India. So these are some of our experiences that we have seen while bidding export services, and they have different areas where we've been successful, some not so successful. But I guess the success is what defines where we have to move forward. So my suggestion to everybody would be focus on a few service lines and then try to build on it. We have to cover up the 4%. The 4% is not going to be a small number. The 4% is going to be $10 billion. $10 billion converted to numbers is a big number. It is going to be north of 60,000 crores. If all of us professionals, every professional takes a target of $200,000 in foreign revenue, in any one of the service. I think this target is a smaller one for us. So I guess my suggestion would be take it in bite-sized pieces, develop your capability and go after only one service. Any one is fine. And then once you enter into one, keep moving from one to the other. That's the growth path. And that's what we have followed to start some of the services, but not, there's still a long way to go for sure. That's the end of my brief presentation. Thank you very much for your patience. And any questions, you guys can note it down in the chat box. We can address it in the later part of the meeting. Thank you very much. Over to you, Gauravji.
Thank you, Arpitji. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your knowledge of outsourcing and IT services. It was very wonderful session. Arpitji has brought out 2-3 points which I have noted, that there are a lot of benefits working in India for the outsourcing business in accounting. The time zone benefit in US, Canada, the cost advantage benefit, the government incentives offered by the government of India. All these things will add up to the service industry boom. So we, being the chartered accountants in India, we can surely take the advantage of all these things. Arpitji has told us the volume of the market. As US, it is $75.1 billion we are earning in India. From Australia, we are just getting $4.2 billion. So there is a lot of scope for all of us professionals to get into the market. I am very, very thankful to you, Arpitji, for your wonderful session. And moving forward, we'll take up the all the queries at the end of the session of all the speakers, sir. So you please keep in touch with on this session. Now moving forward, I would like to introduce our second speaker of the session, CA Dhavalpaun ji. CA Dhavalpaun is a chartered accountant providing consultancy services to US clients remotely, mainly in areas of bookkeeping, Excel automation, Excel tools for business processes, and business consulting. He is a certified QuickBooks Online Advanced Pro Advisor and helps small and medium US businesses in achieving automation in bookkeeping in QuickBooks Online with third-party apps. He has delivered a lot of lectures on Excel as forensic tool and practice management for CAs and outsourcing services opportunities on various occasions. With this, I request CA Dhavalpaun ji to present his session. Please,
thank you, Gauravji, for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. First of all, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, I would like to thank the Committee for International Trade for inviting me to share my experience on this platform. Also, specifically thanks Sri Dheeraj Khandelwal for giving, planning such a good session, and the Rohit ji for giving so much values and suggestions. So like our ICI is already doing, so much for this upcoming and new opportunities which are coming up. So it's good for us to take the benefit from these sessions, and thank you everyone for attending, all the attendees for sparing some time and attending this lecture. So let me first share my screen here. Okay, so you can see my screen, right? Yes. I think yes. Okay. So, in today's this short speech, I'm going to share my experience in how you can deliver value in finance and accounting outsourcing. I think that is the first and foremost services which we can outsource as a CA. We already have the knowledge of GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. So as Arpit said rightly, one can start with one service and slowly from your existing client, they can try you for newer services. As Dheeraj also told in the introductory remark, that it's not just, like finance or bookkeeping and accounting is the only thing which a client can outsource from the outside India. there are, the scope is vast, it, as Arpitji also told, various type of services which you can perform for your overseas clients. So right, but in this short speech, what I'm going to cover is, the single most important aspect you should consider while delivering, services to the overseas client. And it will not only help you the deliver services, but also to acquire work. As Dheerajji rightly said, the number one question that comes into our mind is how you can acquire this work. So everyone must face this issue, right? Like, we don't know how we can get that work. So that is the biggest take I want to cover through this session, while covering the delivering value in finance and accounting outsourcing. So before moving ahead to the best approach or best strategy you can follow, let me cover the most important uh, channels where you can find the clients to outsource your services. So first is the job boards. Like, you will find a lot of job boards, like on the LinkedIn also. You will find startups posting their requirements where they are looking for remote professionals to get on their board, right? So one thing is that, uh, also, there are startup communities like AngelList, Crunchbase, where you can connect with the clients. So first, I'm covering quickly the outreach channels, and then I will give you the right approach which you can perform to acquire new clients, right? Second is social media. So when I say social media, it's again LinkedIn, YouTube. You can create informational videos on YouTube, or you can give latest updates on Twitter. A lot of things you can do to bring your online presence. Third thing you can do is creating content online, like writing a information article on upcoming changes, like uh, you know uh, when VAT was introduced in UAE, it was a good opportunity for CS to jump into that opportunity and get some clients, right? So you can create your online presence by writing content online. It can be like some platform like medium.com. It's a blogging platform, right? It can be LinkedIn. It can be your own blog, own website. So you can create some content to make your online presence. Fourth thing you can do is you can email the prospective clients, which you may come across through referrals, or through conferences, or through some online activity. So you can send them across your profile, your services, and then you can take it forward. Fifth and most important part is the forums. Like, I have done this a lot in my initial career in 2012. So I was in Excel, when I was having a very few clients, but I want to do some complex Excel work. I usually visit this Microsoft community, and in Excel, whatever is the question being posted by users in Excel field, I try to solve them. And believe me, friends, it will definitely give you some advantage, or some reference. uh, you can find clients in the forums as well. So in your area, you should find some community, active community, where you should participate regularly. Next thing you can do is PR activity. Like, when it was introduced in UAE, I have come across like many consulting firm. They try to write guest articles on newspapers or blogs. uh, these are the PR activity which will give you some referrals or some client leads, which you can convert later on for your outsourcing services. uh, Next is the conferences. That is the most important part. If you can attend any conference, like we already know that in November this year, we will be having World Conference of Accountants, which happens every 4 years, and this time it's in Mumbai, hosted by our ICAI. So it's a good networking opportunity which you should consider. uh, and next is do some meetings with the client if you can, and pitch your profile, pitch your services. Now, after giving you all these outreach channels, one must think about, like, we have already tried this channels, we have already tried these channels and we didn't get any leads, right? Or we also, like, we also hear some from someone that this LinkedIn never works, this forums things, Quora thing never works. But the most important part, which I was referring earlier, why it is not working for you, that I'm going to cover. And that is the most important aspect, whatever your outreach channel is. And that is, to customize the your proposals, I would say, whatever it is. If you are writing a blog article, if you are writing a content on the online, you should customize your uh, outreach effort uh, according to the requirement of the client, or according to the industry you are planning to serve. So that is what we are going to cover in the next slide. So assume this thing, you are you are you are proposing a client in any industry. Most of the time, like, I have, like, from my experience since 2014, I have, like, mentored more than 500 CAs. And what I've observed that, the proposal is similar across industries. Like, whatever industry they are submitting their proposals, maybe in email, maybe on job boards, or any other outreach channel, they are writing the same copy paste proposal, which is great. I'm not like, they are mentioning that we are chartered accountants, we are having this experience, etc., etc. So that is no doubt about the credibility. Like, in India, if you just say that I am a chartered accountant, no other question is required from the client. But in this field, where you are competing with the world, and the technology has changed so much that the traditional accounting approach is no more happening. Like, it's not just that you are doing purchase, sales bills, and expense vouchers, bookkeeping over here. The era has changed, the technology has changed. Every industry is different. They create, like, they generate data from many applications. We need to integrate those applications with the accounting system and offer some solutions to the client. It's not our traditional accounting which we will generally observe in this outsourcing practice with this client. So to give you some example, let us quickly discuss some of the common industries which we will see in the outsourcing practice. The first is the real estate flipping business, where a client purchase a property, they improve it, and then they sell it, with a good profit margin. So in this business, the client would be more like looking for tracking the expenses based on the uh, property, like property-wise tracking of the expenses, right? So that is altogether a different requirement by the client. And we need to integrate, we need to design the chart of accounts according to the requirement of the client. So in your proposal, you just advise the client that we are going to have this approach for you to solve your accounting needs, right? Just mentioning that I'm a chartered accountant will not give you so much result. It will rarely give you any result, I would say. So this is that. Next is like real estate rental business. It is more prevalent in USA. For example, in Airbnb, the client is having many properties. They are giving it on Airbnb on rental. So they are generating the data from Airbnb, HomeAway, etc. Right? And they also need a location-wise or class-wise tracking of their expenses to see the profitability of each unit they have. Right? So next is e-commerce stores. Like nowadays we have so much e-commerce happening. Like someone is selling products on Amazon or in Shopify store. So then they are having a huge volume of transactions. So we need to automate accounting for them. We need to integrate like Amazon with the, for example, QuickBooks or Zero or whatever software the client is using, right? So we need to offer some solutions approach to the client in our proposal. That is the key to success. That will create the trust with the client, that the you already know the requirement, you have the skills, and you can implement that approach actually for the client. So this is about creating the trust. Then only client will start communication with you. This is the number one thing I would emphasize on in this industry. Next is the SaaS startup. Like over here, tracking like key performance indicators like cost of acquiring the customer, the churn rate, the burn rate. This is important. Like creating those reports is important. So you need to have the customized reports for the client periodically generated from the accounting software, right? The next is the consultancy firm. So it can be, client wise tracking of the timing of the staff. So you have some tracking of the time application, which uh, you know which is added to the time is added to the client's billing automatically. So these are all the different scenarios which we might have, and you need to propose those solutions and approach to the client. They might, like consultancy firm might have the billable expense, whatever expense they might incur, they need to bill to the client. So all these things might happen in that. So someone has multi-location stores or restaurants which they need to track the bookkeeping, right? So it may be inter-branch transfers and a lot of things happening on those industries. So friends, the thing is you need to have a customized approach based on the client which you are offering your services. You just can't say a standard sentence that we are a CA firm having 10 plus years of experience, we have done so much audits and etc etc. Although you can mention those, but first try to give some customized proposal and then introduce yourself. It will be more believable, the client will believe you rather than just saying your introductory remarks, right? So coming to the proposal writing secrets, in any of the channels which we discussed, if you customize your outreach effort according to what we are going to see in this slide, it will give you the result for sure. First is try to address clients' pain points. That is the most important aspect. Uh, Second is demonstrating your solution with the stories. Like rather than having the standard sentence like I'm a chartered accountant, you can write like being a chartered accountant. I am good at doing a bank reconciliation or whatever is the job in question, right? So create some stories around your experience, your credentials. It will give more result. Also, as I told you, try to achieve automation, propose some process improvements to the clients. It will give you more results, right? So avoid putting irrelevant experience. If you don't have experience, you can just say that I don't have experience, but having used so many softwares already, I can quickly learn this new software which you are using, and we can offer good services to you, right? So submit proposals only on projects you can really perform. you know there will be always a on the job training, there is no doubt about it. Like you can learn something on the job while performing the job, but uh, it has some limitation, right? Like you cannot develop a QuickBooks application for the client because you don't have the skills or the programming skills for that. But you can offer QuickBooks bookkeeping for sure. So try to limit yourself with the things you can actually perform, because later on you have to perform it. Just mentioning that you can do it will not give you any result, because at the end of the day you have to perform that task. So try to avoid those things. So next is like successful service delivery secrets. So like once you have been awarded the project by the client, overseas client to you, what you can do, basic thing you can do to make sure the client is happy at the end, because that is the key to future success. You can build upon one client to many clients by reference or by testimonials. So always don't hesitate to ask questions. What we have observed, like in like whenever we find some technical difficulties or some question is there, we try to stop working on that assignment. It's not the way. You have to you have to take initiate action. You have to ask questions, you need to find solutions. You can take help from the forums. Whatever that needs to be done has to be done. You can't stop work or progress on that particular project, right? So you can, feel free to take time understanding business process and the software or tools the client is using. Client doesn't expect you to perform from the first day. It takes time, and client is ready to invest in you if you are the right consultant or advisor. So always, like if I give my example, when I started for like in 2012, I started for accounting for a hedge fund in Czech Republic. So I took 1.5 months to understand the workflow of the client, the software he is using, because I was using earlier a Geneva software in my job at a hedge fund outsourcing company. So I was not aware about the client software. So you can take time, you can bill it, or it's up to you and the client how you deal with the investment of the learning process. So give regular updates, it is most important. Like in India, what we do for clients is, unless and until the client is following up you for any task, we don't start working on that particular project, because we are having already a very heavy workload, right? So that doesn't work, because the trust is the key thing here. We are sitting remotely apart from each other. The client is sitting remotely in another country. The only thing is, like he having doubts about like how the project is going on. Like has he has some personal problems or stuck in other work, or what is happening? Like if you don't give updates, it will be very, like you can say uh, not happy moment for the client. Even if you there is no progress on the project, like if with my client, if I didn't perform a task which I'm supposed to perform in the 24 hours, next 24 hours, there might be some difficulty at my end. If I just convey it that I have not done it, I will do it in next 12 hours and update you. That is much more appreciated. So always give regular updates to the client. So you can, open testimonials from the happy clients. It will You can post it on LinkedIn, or you can create some videos and post it on your website. It will be the key for you to get more clients in the future, get referrals in the future, right? So this is the thing you can consider while providing services to the outsourcing client. So as we have been told, like this is the last slide I have, like question and answer we will be covering in the next in the last, but you can note down my contact details. If you have any question, you can always contact me. Just like Arpit said, I will be looking for, you guys having more dollar revenues than Indian revenues as displayed in this slide, and it should skyrocket soon as per our committee initiative. So all the best to you guys. Thank you once again for inviting me to share my experience in this session, and all the best to all the attendees. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhavalji. Thank you very much. I appreciate your professionalism and practical knowledge on outsourcing business. It was an excellent session, and I believe it will motivate many of us to work in global market in accounting field. Dhavalji has rightly mentioned about outreach channels to get the work, and the most important thing he has mentioned about the successful service delivery secrets. Until and unless we provide successful delivery of the work undertaken by us, the foreign client will not give us more references. We need to be precise, we need to be competent, we need to be very right in delivery of work. Otherwise, it will destroy your market. We should be very much professional while dealing with the foreign clients. Even in the Indian domain, when we deliver to our clients good quality work, we get good references, and the same is the case in the international system. I thank you very much, Dhavalji, for your wonderful session. Members, we have around 3,000 members on board with us right now, and thank you very much for the Committee for Development of International Trade and Services, that so many people, so many members and chartered accountants are interested in this field right now. Many of them must be our young members, because they are looking forward to get good work in the outsourcing business in global level. Now going ahead, I have already told all of you that the query session will be taken at the end. We have with us our third speaker of the session, CA Anjani Ladia ji. And I would like to introduce all of you our third speaker of the evening. CA Anjani Ladia ji is the finance and accounting professional having 20 plus years of experience. His journey includes working with Big Four firms in various jurisdictions across the world, including Luxembourg, London, New York, and India. He is presently the chairman of Luxembourg chapter of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He positions himself with a unique skill set of one and only one person from Indian origin of having triple qualification of chartered accountancy profession from Luxembourg, USA, and India. He is currently involved in business development activities by creating a corridor between Europe and India, outbound and inbound business opportunities based out from Luxembourg. He has an immediate exposure on onboarding and settling business clients in Luxembourg. He possesses in-depth technical expertise to lead engagements on US GAAP to Luxembourg GAAP compliance for legal reporting. With these words, I request Anjani Ladia ji to please proceed with his session, sir.
Thank you, Gauravji. Thank you again for the humble introduction of myself. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much once again. I would like to thank our alma mater, CA Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and the Committee of Development of International Trade Services and WTO Chairman Dheeraj Khandelwal ji to give me an opportunity to address our professional colleagues and be part of the elite speaker group where CA Arpit Bhargava ji and Dhaval Ponji had shared their experiences now. And I would like to give this platform and an opportunity to introduce Luxembourg to India if you guys are not knowing anything about Luxembourg. So I will share my screen now for my presentation, and just 1 second, and everybody can see my screen now. Perfect. Thank you. So again, giving this opportunity, I want to bring India close to Luxembourg in this session and would want to show you the glimpse of what this small country has to offer to our fellow chartered accountants. So, said that, let's explore Luxembourg with a small video.
Présente à vous.
Mais en même temps,
A lot of things were said to bear.
Thank you for watching. Everything, every frame, every picture, what you guys saw there on that video is Luxembourg. But I would want to also give you some facts and Luxembourg at glance in some numbers. It is one of the smallest country in the European Union, but bordered by three big economies of the world: Belgium, France, and Germany. Luxembourg is an independent country for more than 175 years, where the population is only 650,000, what we say 650,000 only, out of which half of them are foreigners. We are here almost 4,500 Indians, which makes the single largest like country domicile people here outside of Europe. Portugal leads as a foreign citizen in here. Some more numbers. As I said, bordered by France, Germany, Belgium. Luxembourg is a small country as such, and we are one of the largest European leading financial centers in the world. There are more than 170 different nationalities living in here, and one of the largest or the biggest per capita income countries of the world. So let's give a little bit of more microscopic view of Luxembourg. Luxembourg is a founding member of EU. It serves as a single European market, providing with goods, capital, services, people, any kind of services. If you are in Luxembourg, you can provide your services to the whole Europe. So giving you the customer base of more than 500 million customers across. Very diversified and attractive economy in all sectors of industry: automotive, telecommunication, media, ICT, logistics, finance, and other services, which is the core focus area of today's group here, and is the home of various European institutions present in Luxembourg as such, which provides the vibrant services to across the whole community and the whole Europe. Luxembourg is known by its financial services ecosystem. Financial services sector is what we are proud about. Where we are talking about outsourcing today, it is the service center of the world, or I would say definitely for Europe, which provides the opportunities to the lawyers, to the accountants, professional service providers, to the financial institutions, and for to the fund industry as a kind of services that could be provided to all in the financial services. Said that, I would like to again play a small video to tell about the financial services of Luxembourg and what it has prior done and what it has the capacity to provide to the global markets.
Ever wondered why Luxembourg ranks as one of Europe's leading financial centers? It's our international expertise. Selling funds, managing investments, businesses, and family wealth across many countries and continents can be complex. It takes a particular skill to understand the different legal, fiscal, and financial implications, and requires professionals that can think and act beyond their national borders. This is precisely the skill Luxembourg has to offer. Banks, asset managers, insurance companies, and fintechs can benefit from an extensive ecosystem of service providers to support their international business development. The Financial Centre provides a complete range of services and solutions, whether for startups or the world's largest companies. Thanks to a stable and well-regulated environment, a unique toolbox of investment vehicles and the right expertise, Luxembourg helps demanding investors achieve their international ambitions. We are perfectly multilingual, and English is the main business language in financial services. People and companies from all over the world feel at home here. As a recognized EU hub and home of the global fund industry, Luxembourg connects markets in Europe and the world. It gives investors access to global and European equity, as well as sovereign and corporate bonds via its funds, supporting growth in Europe by channeling private equity capital and helping governments and companies across the world raise finance by listing bonds on Luxembourg Stock Exchange. That's why the majority of the world's top asset managers are based here. And it's why international banks, insurers, and even fintechs serve EU customers out of Luxembourg. So if you want to connect with investors in markets across Europe and beyond, why look anywhere else?
Thank you. So just now want to give us some more highlights about what India and Luxembourg are already doing. And then I would cover up that what could be the other opportunities that could be available for our professionals from India in Luxembourg to Luxembourg. So India-Luxembourg shares a 70 years of bilateral relationship. It's the single largest foreign direct investment at number 16th of 3.3 billion. And I'm only talking about Luxembourg itself and not the wider Europe. Exchange of goods in 2020 was 35.6 million outbound, and exchange of services 265 million, which is nothing as compared to what the numbers RPG mentioned in earlier presentation. Luxembourg companies in India. These names might not be very familiar apart from some, but these are the Luxembourg companies. There are more than 30 Luxembourg-based companies which are operating in India, and the largest, biggest name you would be knowing is ArcelorMittal, which is headquartered in Luxembourg, the steel giant led by Mr. Mittal here, so which is based out from Luxembourg, and they operate in India as well. So just a quick glance of certain companies present in India. Similarly, Indian companies are also headquartered here in Luxembourg to provide their European services. So some names in here, there are more than 20 Indian companies, big and small, present in Luxembourg, locally set up, and then they provide the services to the Luxembourg community and the ecosystem market. You would see that most of the names here are the IT services, and none of them are in the professional services of the Indian firms. So that lies the opportunity there. So tapping the opportunities, which is the core crux of the today's session. Luxembourg currently focuses on 4 different sectors: financial services, fintech, startup, and the trade and investment bilateral between the two countries. So there is a wider European aspect that India does with the EU, but there is also a bilateral between India and Luxembourg as well that can be explored on two countries' individual sovereignty. So its a main financial service center activities are investment funds, including the normal mutual fund, hedge fund, as well as private equity, real estate, the banking sector, the insurance sector, and the capital markets operations. Luxembourg was one of the first Luxembourg Stock Exchange to list the green bonds. So the green exchange of Luxembourg Stock Exchange is one of the very favorable exchanges across the whole Europe to launch and start having the funding in the form of bonds by listing your securities here in Luxembourg Stock Exchange. So capital market operations are also very well present in Luxembourg. Some numbers for you on each of these sectors. Uh, there are other activities from China's renminbi business, which is the Chinese banks are present in here. Luxembourg is their favorite destination to operate from for across whole Europe. There are at least 10 Chinese banks, big banks, set up their offices here in Luxembourg, and they provide the corporate banking, private individual fund services as well, and which helps in providing sustainable finance, fintech opportunities, and the also Luxembourg is also the preferred jurisdiction for the Islamic finance coming up from the Middle East countries. Some numbers for you guys as well again. Fintech is the one of the main focus areas of Luxembourg. Like any other country, India is currently becoming the fintech hub, but Luxembourg already started its journey 5 years ago. So this is now a seasoned industry, and the all the service providers rotate behind the fintech and the banking industry across, which gives us a lot of opportunities. What can be done in fintech? Compliance, risk management, security, data security analysis, big data analysis, mobile e-payments, everything can be done out from Luxembourg through its research and development innovation institutes, which are working with the government and in the private sector hand in hand together. Startup ecosystem prevails here in Luxembourg. Berlin is the largest startup destination in the Europe, but again, a big economy of Germany. Amsterdam is the second largest in Europe. The third largest ecosystem providing to the Europe is Luxembourg, which also gives us the funding opportunities of raising funds and also investing into various platforms through Luxembourg if you are present in Luxembourg here as such. It has a unique investment toolbox of various type of entities you could set up. When I say you, means the companies who want to come in, and it gives us a flexible regime of capitalization and the legal entities that could be set up to provide any kind of commercial, financial, or holding company setup. Luxembourg enjoys the highest number of double taxation treaties with the more than 90 plus countries in the world. So if you would want to have your company set up, it would be the Luxembourg will be the ideal destination. And giving you an example of a European investor investing in Japan would have its holding companies and operations set up in Luxembourg entities. So it creates as a kind of a central focal point between the across all jurisdictions in the world, and you would see that it has all sorts of opportunities that could give to provide in any service provider role. And so what opportunities we can tap for ourselves in here? Some names, and these are nothing extra which has not been covered by our two speakers before, by Arpit ji as well as Dhawal ji. Talks about the IT services, the financial reporting, like any tailor-made solutions or legal or accounting services that could be provided out from India to the entities in Luxembourg if you are presented in here. So all these jargons have been discussed today in today's session, so I would not repeat more further. In accounting side, this is very familiar to all of us who are part of this session, that international taxes, human resources, VAT, indirect, IFRS, GDPR, regulatory compliance, fund administration, all these could be done through outsourcing models, or if you are presenting in here through collaboration partnerships with the existing companies or firms here. How do you tap these opportunities? by identifying existing client presence. I'm sure all you guys are working with multinational clients, if not the local clients of India. I'm sure they would have a small piece of Luxembourg in their books, and that's how you identify the opportunities to take and explore to provide those services, which of those clients which are either present in India or across global jurisdictions, could be by harmonization between the two countries and identifying those opportunities by going to the market with joint client target initiatives, by offering new services of what we do to our Indian clients. We also can provide it to our global clients in here, and utilizing our global network of ICAI, which has more than 50 chapters and 35 representative offices, and Europe is growing. We are the 3 chapters here in Europe, but we are also 12 representative offices that would be active going forward in few months. We also do this with coordination, as I said, private, public, government, non-government organizations. Some opportunities comes through the government High Commission trades, through the Ministry of Commerce, through the Ministry of Finance, embassies, and through the Chamber of Commerce present in both the countries. That could be the local source of gathering the opportunities by being in touch with them regularly, and then working towards in coordination to find out and tap those opportunities. In India, we have our full embassy. Luxembourg, being the smallest country you see, has a full embassy in New Delhi, but also 4 honorary councils in all the 4 big metropolitan cities of India. So if you feel you are in any of those locations, please don't hesitate to reach out to the Luxembourg counterpart, whose only and only responsibility is to promote Luxembourg and give that opportunity inbound and outbound between the two countries. Why should you choose Luxembourg for your business? Because of its political stability, social stability, quality of life, its economic strength, its openness to the world and the diversity of the population, multicultural workforce, and as well as a business-friendly administrative and tax framework. It said that I would like to play and end up my session here with one last video, that what makes you to move to Luxembourg once again. Enjoy watching. Thank you for your time and listening me out, and I would be more than happy to take any questions, answers, and feedback with our contact details on the screen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anjani sir, for giving your precious time. It was a very informative session about the Luxembourg and tapping opportunities in Luxembourg. We will look forward to working with you, sir, in the European territory. The video presentation given by you, from that presentation, I must say that you are living in one of the beautiful countries of the world with a very nominal population. They are managing a lot of things, and the 7 things you have mentioned to work in Luxembourg, the political and economic stability and the work environment. Thank you very much for the wonderful session. And thank you all the three session guest speakers of the session. Now, moving forward, I would like to take up questions raised by our members through this session. There are a lot of questions before me, but I would try to take few of them. I would start with Anjani sir. There are few questions particularly for you, Anjani sir. The first and foremost question regarding Luxembourg with one of our fellow colleagues is, I want the colleague, CA is asking that he wants to work in Luxembourg. How to approach?
Okay. Thank you, Gauravji, for again, and thank you for asking that question. Work means two types of work: job or your own professional independent services. So for the job aspect, as for working, it is no different than any other European country that you would need a work permit sponsorship from your Indian employer. It's like the job market is very protected here in Luxembourg. So there could be two routes from the job opportunity side. If there is an existing company in India, as well as who has a headquarters or a presence in Luxembourg, and intercompany transfer is the first and preferred route to take to find that opportunity. And then networking is the key here, as what Dhavalji mentioned previously is please be in touch with your counterparts in Luxembourg and network, and that opportunity will open up from the job perspective. English is the business language, but French and German are the two administrative languages that requires also a little bit of oversight. So I would suggest that if you could be one of the other European language of French or German, and identifying the opportunity through the intercompany transfer could be the easiest route to come to Luxembourg for job through the job work permit. Second is through the university route is the easiest. Gauravji, you mentioned that after 17 years, you did your qualification of US. That becomes also an opportunity in Luxembourg in accounting, finance, post-graduation, or in professional qualification to do study in here. This becomes the door for your growth opportunities of working in Luxembourg. I hope I was able to answer this question to you.
So you have very sincerely answered this question. In continuation of this question, another question is, do a CA of India need any particular qualification to get into Luxembourg business or Luxembourg practice?
Indeed. Thank you, Gauravji. I did anticipate that I would get this question. So I did prepare a small couple of slides for this, which I would want to take an opportunity to share once again my screen.
Sure, sir. Go ahead.
All right. So profession in Luxembourg is governed by two professional bodies here. IRE, Institute of Registered Auditors, Revisier d'Entreprise Agréé, and Order the Chartered Accountants, Order the Expert Comptable. Auditor is called Revisier, Chartered Accountant is called Expert Comptable. These are the two member bodies which are present in Luxembourg. Like any other European country, like Netherlands, we have an MRA with one of the bodies. So accounting and audit profession. So there are, just wanted to give you some demographics about it, what they are qualified, and then how and which they can work towards on which. We talk about big fours, right? It is not only big fours. Big four is only one number here in this 78 audit firms and 553 local firms. think about that there are so many individual firms, like in India, the ecosystem also exists in Luxembourg. So the networking and partnership is the key matter where you should create and find your right-minded people, the law firms, the local accountants, the service providers, the administrators. They are the key one who could be part of it for your collaboration. If you don't want to have your own individual presence, otherwise you could be the next 114th or 554th firm in Luxembourg as well. With that, how do you access the qualification part? There is no minimum education required, but you could become a qualified accountant through of the two institutes by this minimum years of qualification and become a membership body. But always, as it was mentioned previously, that learning on the ground and the local laws is very important to know the dynamics and the ecosystem of what is there to be provided to the clients, what is looking for. Global still is becoming local, is what you should learn and then qualify through the education pattern, and you could become and access a qualified chartered accountant or a statutory auditor of practicing in Luxembourg. Here I have a link. Please go to the website called ire.lu, which gives equivalency opportunity of giving exam, and then taking the qualification automatically. You don't have to go through the whole years of all the exams and the training requirements, but there could be an equivalency if you fulfill certain criteria, and if you pass that exam, you are qualified to practice in Luxembourg. But as I said, networking and partnering with the local firms could be the easy small wins. So ire.lu would give the some background behind it, which is very current at the moment. Yep, and some more information is what a chartered accountant can do, what a statutory auditor can do, which is everything what statutory auditor means. It's a higher qualification. You can do everything what a chartered accountant does. But if you are a chartered accountant, there are certain things which is only reserved for the statutory auditors. So that's the little bit of difference between the two bodies. And one is a supervisory body, like how we have our supervisory body of ICAI. IRE, this professional body, is under the supervision of CSSF, which is the Commissaire Sector de Financier, very equivalent to SEBI. Means we, the auditors, are also answerable to the disciplinary committee of SEBI equivalent in India. So this is what I would like to give you a little bit of background, and I can take more questions if needed.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think our fellow colleague must have got his reply in detail from Anjani sir. Adding to this, sir, you have mentioned that apart from talk about the English language, you must have one of the command over languages. And I want to add that Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is conducting courses on French language for the members and for the students. That is on a very discounted prices. That language barrier can be made out by our members by joining those courses if they want to work with European territory. Moving forward, sir, now the questions are open for all the three speakers of the session. Particularly, I would, if any question is for particular speaker, I would surely let you know, but there are a lot of questions, so I would go on another question. Sir, few of the members have a query that what are the legal recourse if they go into the global arena for their projections in accounting outsourcing? Do they need to to go through some restrictions, like in code of ethics, we cannot advertise our profession. Do there is any restriction or do any legal formalities to do complete for getting into this market? I think Dhavalji is into this particular business, so I would ask Dhavalji to please answer this.
Yeah, see, this is the number one question we usually get. It's really important. As rightly said, we cannot advertise we cannot advertise as per our code of ethics for sure. But no one can stop you from posting your opinions on social media or writing some information article on your blog or any of the outreach channels which I suggested you. It's not against code of ethics, although there are other two faculties as well. You yourself can guide on, like, if it requires any further approval or some you know uh, 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 requirements that might be fulfilled. But as per me, whatever outreach channels I have suggested doesn't violate any code of ethics of ICI.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Also adding to what Dhavalji said, the last or I would say the most primitive way of doing this is going and having a meeting with some of the companies that you know are in the business or need help. So if you've got in touch with someone through the social media and you can plan, let's say 5 or 6 meetings in one place, I think you should do it. That is something that I have done in the past. Different countries, taken up appointments with 10 companies, went there, met them, said, okay, this is what we're doing. And if you need any help, we're always there. So that kind of requirement assessment and, going and asking the clients, what do they need? If they have come out to you with a specific query that we need help on this, it's always good to go sit across the table and discuss with them how we can help them.
Thank you, RPG. I think this would answer the query. And moving forward, there is one particular question from our member that he has taken a few projects through Upwork, a platform from where the chartered accountants can get work in the online media. But most of the proposals are either closed or declined. Other than Upwork, is there a way to develop outsourcing practice? Can we get in contact directly with a CPA firm? Arpit or Dhavalji, anyone?
Dhavalji, please go ahead. Then I'll follow you.
Yes, sure. So as I told you, there are ample of ways, whatever outreach channels I have given, like forums or a PR activity or, your own content or social media outreach. See, there is one particular thing about that channel. Like, for example, if you create an informational video on YouTube, there is a strategy you should follow. There is a platform specific thing you should follow while creating content or outreach efforts, right? One thing is that. Second, as I told you already, is the having the right approach. You cannot just say in your profile that I am a chartered accountant. That is required, no doubt about it. But the second most important part is, have some case studies. For example, if you have done some work for real estate client, try to demonstrate it through a case study, like what was the problem, how you solved it. So also in forums, if you can just give your opinion, also showcase some case studies of your past clients, so it will generate leads for you. So the opportunities channels are ample. You need the right strategy. Like in each of the channels which I have discussed, I already have experimented. See, someone says LinkedIn don't work, but I have already tried to whenever there is a requirement by some startup posted through like overseas client, I try to outreach them, give some solutions to them, and it will give you result for sure. I'm not saying it will be result will be 100%. It can be 7%, 10%, but that is a good, if you like, a big client would come eventually for sure. One thing. Second, like as I told you, the PR activity, like when UAE has introduced the VAT, I have written an article for a startup who is having a Zomato like application for a table booking. So they published their article on their blog because they found it helpful for their businesses, whom they are giving the services. And accordingly the lead will come, like they will mention you as the storyteller or the author of the blog. And it is like in this unstructured market, you cannot say that like if I give, like it's an unstructured way of getting the work, right? So you cannot expect n number of result by putting n number of efforts. It will be coming for sure, but you have to have the right approach and you have to be consistent. That is the key to success. Yeah, RPG, you can continue.
I think you covered everything. But just one more thing I would like to add, and Anjani sir pointed it out really well. You must always keep networking. As long as you're networking, whether it is through WhatsApp, through our international members portal, through anything, LinkedIn, whatever way you get, you must network, and that is the only way you can get business. Like Dhaval Bhai said, if you are able to publish something, that will be really good. If you're not able to publish something, provide your opinion on LinkedIn. I'm sure there is someone who needs that help. They will reach out to you. It is a 1 on 1000 ratio. You publish 1000 articles or give 1000 comments and you receive one lead, or at least convert one lead. So I think just be consistent and just keep networking. I guess that's the way forward.
Thank you, Arpitji. Thank you, Dhavalji. Adding to this answer to this particular question, I would like to tell the members that the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has published a book on account process outsourcing 2 years back. That is a very informative book. I am just having that book with me. I'll show you the cover page. This is the book I think everyone can see. You can have this book from the Institute's distribution portal of books. And on the 185th page, the particular question that our member has asked, other than Upwork, what other portals are available to get work? He has not got recognition from Upwork. There are 8 to 10 portals which are providing APO services. I am just naming them. This is Upwork, Freelancer, TrueLancer, Guru, Fiverr, Propelled Head, Outsourcing. These are 8 portals which are providing work to the members. But one more thing I want to add, that we should not be hostile when we apply for the work on these portals. We should be competent enough and we should apply for those contracts which we can complete properly. Moving forward, sir. Another question. How can we assure the client of the confidentiality of the client data? Arpitji, I think you would be answering this.
So on this, I guess there are a lot of things that come together. It's not a single answer. The first thing you have to do is not share the data over private email. Most critical thing, and that is something I practice religiously. Even when I joined our own firm, when we started our own firm, we decided that our email ID is going to be first name dot last name at our domain. It's not going to be Gmail. It's not going to be Yahoo. That is the first thing that goes a long way in a client thinking, oh, these guys have a separate domain. It is subject to at least a greater sense of filter than just a Gmail or a Yahoo or whichever personal email. The second one is you can always go ahead and implement secure sharing platforms such as OneDrive, Citrix. I'm not very concerned on IT as such, but our team uses Google Drive, OneDrive, and Citrix as 3 platforms to share data. Some of our US partners use Kiteworks. So there are a lot of secure sharing applications that you can use, and reference of those in your contract, in your non-disclosure agreement or your confidentiality agreement will give the client great confidence that yes, these guys know what they're doing. they have the right attitude to do anything. And of course, there is also a paragraph in your confidentiality agreement that if it is an inadvertent diffusion of information, you will not be liable, and the client understands this. For example, if the Microsoft server is hacked and some data is leaked, there is nothing that I can do as an individual to protect any kind of confidentiality. So I believe having a domain and an email ID to communicate if you're at a distance goes a long way. Have a confidentiality agreement draft ready for your client to see that, yes, we are conscious about confidentiality. If required, explain to them what methods you are taking to secure your data. How is it secured in your team? Is there a domain that is circulation is restricted to? Is there a written approval required? Is there a secure share applied? So I guess those are some things which can help with enhancing the comfort of the client with respect to confidentiality.
Arpeji, in continuation of this question, there is another question. How do you manage the professional indemnity and error and omission insurance when working with foreign clients?
So again, excellent question. We generally have a insurance, a professional insurance that we take, but I haven't seen that happen in India. I'm sure it does happen. You can take such an insurance in India, but it's only a developing market. But in the US, there is a clause where you can take an insurance and thereby you are indemnified across the world for any kind of damage that comes across. So if you're looking at something like this, you will generally be sued in Europe for breach of, let's say, the privacy norms or breach of a contract or confidentiality in the US. And this is again sector specific. You can't sit in India, say, oh, I have taken insurance, now nothing can happen to me. No, the coverage of the insurance might not be global if you're taking it from India. So the insurance is perhaps the only thing that you can bank on, and you will have to take a global insurance. So find either an insurer in Lloyd's London or an insurer in the US. I guess those two are something that we have done. So I'm not sure if there are more. I'm sure someone else can recommend. So these two are the ones I have explored till now.
I think this answers the questions properly. Thank you. Anjani sir, there is a question for you. This is a question from Hyderabad based firm who is having more than 50 employees. They said, we provide bookkeeping and financial process services to multiple Indian companies. Now we are planning to expand our services to outside India. What kind of opportunities we can tap at Luxembourg with respect to both bookkeeping and finance process outsourcing?
Gaurav, thank you for that question. I would like to, answer this question with some challenges. What Europe faces of outsourcing to India. It is a very difficult jurisdiction, I would say, because of the laws of data protection, and the regulation which is present by the EU directive, which does not allow direct outsourcing of a certain type of industry sectors to India if they don't have the presence here in Luxembourg. So being only an Indian company approaching a Luxembourg small startup directly will not be possible to outsource it unless there is a kind of a local arrangement of representation of the liability sharing, indemnity, presence, data protection, as well as the regulations of the local laws that needs to be complied across. So the direct outsourcing model from Europe does not work very fruitfully, where people could ask that there are so many European companies who outsource their work to India. Yes, because they might have an Indian presence as well. So there is two nodals in Europe and in India which talk to each other, and then intercompany transfer of work can happen easily. So I would it would be shame to say, unless our regulation changes or there is a network representation partnership firm, available in Luxembourg of your similar capabilities, that would be the easiest way to get the work from the Luxembourg, not only Luxembourg, from the adjoining European markets also. As I said, it's a single source of European Union to provide the goods and services outside.
Thank you, Anjani sir. There is a specific question for Dhavalji. Can you please guide how can one learn to use QuickBooks? Should a course be taken up? If yes, please suggest the recommended courses.
Yeah, of course. See, QuickBooks has its own Pro Advisor program. They provide free training and free certification. It's completely online and completely free. So you can just go to the US website of QuickBooks and you can register for that as an accountant. So it's called QuickBooks Pro Advisor. You can go for that.
Okay. Thank you very much. If it is free, it is free for all. Thank you. Everybody can approach the website of QuickBooks, I think, to get the pre-hand knowledge of this. And a lot of members on the portal are asking about the book I have mentioned that is published by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I would like to tell all the members, this is the title of the book is Account Process Outsourcing, an Insight on Major Economies. This book is published by the Committee for Development of International Trade Services and WTO in 2020. And there is a revised edition of this book available for 2021. And when you go to the committee for on the institute's website at the committee's portal, you will get a link of this book. This book is also available free of cost on that link. I would ask the secretary of the ICAI to share the link of the book with the members. I can show you again the copy of this book, the front page of this book. This is Accounting Process Outsourcing, an Insight on Major Economies. Going forward, sir, I have few more questions. Sir, there is a specific question. Which are the most commonly used software for accounting? Then one needs to skill up on in terms of outsourcing accounting services.
Yes. So, as we have already discussed QuickBooks, which is mainly used in USA, but now it's used across, small firms by Europe and Australian clients as well. Then there is a Xero, Xero, Xero software. Then there are many others, Zoho Books, Fresh Books, and many others. But we need to focus on, like major like QuickBooks and Xero maybe, or even Zoho. That will cover most of the clients for you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. There is another question. Can we bring outsourcing clients by creating our own site with proper search engine optimization and digital marketing rather than using other job posting sites?
Yes. See, sorry, Arpit, I will. Okay, I will try to. Okay. So yes, of course, you can do it. It's possible. The only thing you need to do is, try to write blog articles or your web pages according to the requirement of the client in the area you are targeting. Like in USA, we will be seeing a lot of real estate clients or e-commerce client or startups or SaaS businesses. So try to address their, like from the forums, you can find many, burning problems like in QuickBooks or in this specific industries. Try to write good articles on your website. And then, again, other aspect also there for website, like you need to have the HTTPS, you need to have good hosting. Those are, channel specific things which some IT consultancy firm can help you. but what I can help you is in the approach you need to follow. So if you follow that approach, I can tell you that definitely it will work. One thing you can have is, like have the contact form on the each of the blog article you have a good call to action. Like call to action is number one important. Whatever you write in any of the channel, be it a forum, be it your blog, write a call to action at the end of the article or your question or your proposal. It will give a client to initiate. If you don't tell the client that email me if you have any further questions, or call me at on this number, or contact me on this Skype handle, the client will be more inclined, the ratio will improve. The call to action is important, and the right article content is important. Yeah, RPG.
Rightly said, Dhavalji. Just one more addition to this. I would say again, as Anjani sir mentioned, that having a local presence does matter, whether regulated or mandated or not. In addition to that, if you have a local presence, that presence can definitely help you get through to the right person, because if you're not in US or Europe or Canada and you have a local contact point there, so to add to what Dhavalji said, if you have a Canadian number or a US number attached to that form and it gets rerouted even to India, it still makes a lot of sense for people to trust you that, oh, they have some local presence, let me get in touch with them. So it is possible that that number gets rerouted to India and at 12 in midnight you are answering the call, but it still makes for a good client call. So always have a local presence. That's going to be the most powerful thing that a client will see. They can call you in their time zone and not wait for your email and then going back in the email.
Yes, totally agree with RPG, and I would add that you can get a Skype number very cheap. From Skype, you can get any country number like USA or Europe or Australia from Skype, and have it on your website, or any outline, like any outreach effort you are doing, you can include that Skype number. It's just like the local number in USA or Australia, but it will route it to your Skype application in mobile or PC. So that will be helpful.
Dhavalji, in addition to this, there is another question regarding QuickBooks Pro Advisor course. They require USA telephone number. Is there any way we can complete it by Indian phone number?
Yeah, just as I told you, like you can buy one from Skype. It's very cheap. Like you need to invest some, like I totally, understand that we need to get it everything almost at low cost or no cost. But if you can invest few dollars, you can get a USA number from Skype, and it will help you to register in those websites.
Thank you, sir. I think we have covered most of the questions, and the last question I am getting on my portal is that from the members that would they get the recording of this session? Yes, it is available. It is available on YouTube as well as on Institute's TV channel, ICAI TV, as well as on YouTube. You can have access of this recording anytime, members. And one more thing I want to deliberate again with you what our committee chairman, CA Dheeraj Khandelwal ji, told us in the beginning, that the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India is planning for members a service exchange portal through this committee, which will help the young members as well as all the members in getting the foreign clients, wherein ICAI would act as a facilitator. This is not a short, it would not be giving you work through this portal. They will be facilitating the work from the foreign clients, and they are working on it, and it would be very soon launched by the committee. And at the end, I would like to say that our Vardi CC members, Dheeraj Khandelwal ji and Rohit Agarwal ji is not available now, and on behalf of them, I would like to propose a vote of thanks and thank all the three session presenters, CA Arpit Bhargav ji, CA Dhaval Paun ji, and CA Anjani Ladia ji. You have taken out your precious time from your busy schedule I on behalf of ICAI and on behalf of the Committee for Development of International Trade, thank you. This was a very, very wonderful session. I think with 3,000 more members on board, a lot of our members would be trying and getting the work in the digital system, in the outsourcing globally through this knowledgeable session. And thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And I would request the ICI to please close the session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Take
Thank
care.
you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Take care.